In this issue of Spacecraft Guide, we're going back to this Gemini spacecraft. We're going to work on getting back to Earth again. We're going to follow down. We did the RCS switch last time. We're going to do the separate OAMS lines switch here. And when you click on it, it takes you to the separate OAMS lines switch telelight. And as you can see, that light is right here. We're starting to use the new visual here to show you what the switch is and where it is. And this switch here, it cues the crew to seal and sever the OAMS lines before jettisoning the adapter. So what we are doing, if we look down here, there's a bunch of stuff, and it's to separate the OASM lines. Indicator is illuminated amber by the TR 256 second relay to prepare to go to retrograde phase. Again, that 256 switch, that's 4 minutes 16 seconds. That's how much time it's giving the astronauts to make sure everything is prepared for going to separate and then go into retrograde. And then that amber light cues the crew to seal and sever the OAMS lines before jettisoning the adapter. Pressing the switch indicator energizes the relays to that actually ignite the pyrotechnics used to seal and sever the lines. These relays also fire pyrotechnic switches and wire guillotines, severing some of the adapter retrograde mating line wiring. So, and then it indicates charges or changes from the indicator changes from amber to green when all of this is completed. So last week, if you were a paying member, or 2 weeks ago when you were a paying member, 2 episodes ago, we talked about that how they have the guillotine and that that RCS switch, that it was actually giving power to the pyrotechnic switches. Now we're actually activating those switches and cutting stuff up. And to visually see where that is, go way back up here. There's a great diagram, and you will see it right here. So we're in preparing to go to retrograde. We haven't gone there yet. We're like right here in the sequence. We're down. We armed the auto retro here. We armed the squibs, and right here separate auto retro indicator amber, and the OAMS indicator. Okay, so we're all the way down here. We got a couple more things to do, but it's going from amber to green, and that's where we are in the sequence. So if you're trying to visualize where we are, we've launched. We've done all of what we had to do in low Earth orbit or in orbit, and then now we're still setting up to separate the spacecraft. Now, if you are a Patreon subscriber, either free or paying, but you're free, it doesn't cost anything, we're going to go over the schematics. So if you would like to join for free, you could join us in going into schematics. Otherwise, if you are a Patreon, one of my Patreon subscribers, and you go to schematics and click on it, it takes you to the wiring diagram. Now we went over the wire guillotines here. We're coming down here to OAMS propellant, and that's K24. You can see that one right there, and this is the separate OAMS lines. Got the K24, we got the amber and the green. You're actually, when you when it is already, you've armed the wire guillotines, but they haven't fired yet, as we did in 2 episodes ago. That gets this light to amber. Now, when the astronaut actually fires those guillotines to seal and sever those lines for the OAMS system, which is the propellant, the fuel, and the oxidizer, that light's going to turn green, and it'll be green on the panel. And you can see here we had the retro squib bus, so that was armed. We fired it. It went to green. So we had it here. That squib was amber. Now we actually fired it, it greens, it connects this switch, and then the light turns green. Now, for our paying subscribers, if you are a paying subscriber, which comes to about a cup of coffee a month at Starbucks, we're going to go a little bit deeper into the normal operations of this separation line, OAMS lines, to show you how we're getting ready to go back into reentry to do our retrograde fire. So if you are a paying subscriber and